What's up, guys? So first of all, I want to say thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been providing, and if you do enjoy this content, please consider subscribing. Definitely helps me out so I can get my content out to you faster. But let's get right to the subject. So here's the thing. There's been this ever-ending discussion about characters. So a lot of people feel that these games that are coming out right now, for example, OverPrime, Predecessor, Fault, for those of you that don't know, these are third-person MOBAs that are based off of a game that died, basically, that was called Paragon, and that used to be made by Epic Games. Now, it's to the point that these games are slowly but surely, in a sense, recreating this game, but introducing their own little flavor as they go, right? Now, it's been brought up that these games will not be quote unquote complete, or they won't be worth playing until the existing roster from the old game Paragon is implemented into these games. So I actually want to know from those people that are actually into all these games, whether it be Predecessor, whether it be OverPrime, whether it be Fault, let me know in the comments down below. Is the amount of heroes ever going to matter? Here's why I ask. I've been getting both sides, left and right, on a consistent basis, and I understand both arguments. You know, you have some people that only like to play one character and they're like, hey, if I don't get my Shinbi, I'm not playing any fucking game. You know, to each his own. Some people are like that. There's also some other people that I'd like, for example, I have James Good in here. You know, he comments a lot on the content. He says the amount of heroes is never going to matter. Adding a hero in an attempt to grab the players who play that hero isn't going to change the gameplay flaw that these games have, which is very, very, very true. Now, granted, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, because even though the games have their own flaws, their upcoming games, you know, indie company games, you're bound to have bugs. There's bound to be flaws. Quite frankly, the direction that each one of these games is taking, they're not going to be the same. You can literally have the same quote unquote character in 3 different games and have it be a totally different character, because when you break it down, as far as kit abilities, as far as damage stats, as far as scaling, as far as items, there's too many variables to be able to just say, hey, this character, once it's in, it'll be Gucci. It's not that simple. But I will say that when it comes down to the individual characters, there is a, how do I want to say this? There's a reaction that you can get from individuals that play a specific character and that's all they want to play. Whether they adapt and like that character in any of these games is a whole totally different conversation to have, right? Now, as far as these games go, I'm not going to get in this video, I'm not going to get into the fact like, oh, well, this game is doing this game is doing that. I plan on making a separate video on that fact. But quite frankly, I don't think the previous characters are going to make a difference. Hear me out. I don't think Paragon characters are going to make a difference in any of these fucking games, because I personally think for the next 2 to 3 years we're probably just going to be looking at Paragon characters. You're literally like, all these games that keep coming out that are successors are literally just going to be Paragon remakes. It's a horrible name to use, and JT Good in here says Parazombies is a shitty term too. Paragon is dead. It's almost as bad as people saying Paragon 2, like quit it. But here's the issue. As long as these developers keep on using epic assets from Paragon, they're going to be attributed to Paragon. And I think that's the major flaw that all these developers and games have. The fact that when you look at each individual game, sure, they might throw their own little, like a little bit of spice here and there, but they're still Paragon successors. They're like, it's low-key trying to fill in dad's shoes, and dad didn't even fucking make it. That to me is flawed in itself. You know what I want to see? I want to see brand new heroes, so I know which one of these developers actually has what it takes to continue, not just catch up. I want to know I want to see brand new maps created by them with their own assets, without epic assets. Because granted, the map design and everything, that lets me know a lot about the map creation for a company, right? But I'll be real with you, I'm tired of seeing fucking OverPrime for the last 5-6 years or whatever the fuck, right? I'm tired of seeing Fangtooth for the same amount of time. I'm tired of seeing these little, you know, like this basic ass pale minion in the jungle for the last 6 fucking years. Like, granted, these games are still being built, and I understand that it's a huge marketing play to pull on the heartstrings of the existing clientele and get them to play based off of the characters they used to love. But until they give me their own fucking content, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, hey, I vote for Fault, I vote for Predecessor, I vote for OverPrime. I support them all. Whichever ones are willing to work with me, I'll work with them. But at the end of the day, until I see originality, in my mind, all these games are fucking tied. I don't care how much funding one gets from crowdsourcing. I don't care how much funding one gets from investors. I don't care if one of them's going to Steam, one of them's going to Epic. They're going to be multiple places. Oh, this one's working on console, this one isn't. This one has controller support, that one doesn't. I don't give a fuck, quite frankly, guys. In my eyes, until I see what these companies can do, that's how I feel. That's just, quite frankly, how I feel. And like the general example that I give on stream is, just because you got Lego blocks and you can put that shit together without instructions does not make you an architect. Just because you were giving the materials and you were able to kind of put something together, that doesn't show me what you can do 100%. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, you're building a Lego, like a lot of these games actually are playing with somebody else's old Lego set. Bro, build your own stuff. That's just how I feel. I will continue to support all these projects. Whether I make a video on a specific game or not, just quite frankly, it just comes down to how I feel about it. TBH, for example, we got Predecessor. Not much has been said about them. Fault's been doing constant updates. OverPrime's been doing teasers, but not much news out of them. At the end of the day, I personally just think characters don't fucking matter, as like the old characters from Paragon aren't gonna fucking matter for the longevity and the survivability of this game. Because 2 years from now, when each one of these games has 40 Paragon characters here, 40 Paragon characters there, and one individual character, the only difference between the games is going to be what? Map, items, UI, you feel me? And that one character, they need to separate themselves faster, or they're all gonna drown together. That's how I feel personally. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Am I just being extra? Do you agree with me? Do you think the characters matter or not? Let me know down below. Leave a like, by the way, for the YouTube algorithm. But as always, till the next video.